Hey guys, UV 1985 here. Today we got a review of the Kamione Gogeta, the Super Saiyan version. But obviously, this isn't Gogeta, but you know. So here's the boxes. They're pretty bland, as you can tell. Yeah, try not to get copyrighted. So nothing really important. Now moving on to the figure. So here is Gogeta. Now, as you can tell, he looks spectacular. He looks really good. Well, for paint and like any paint chippings, there hasn't been any. He just looks really good overall. And yeah, the only problem I could tell is on the pants here. There's maybe like little chipping from where you like move in the pants. And you can tell there might be a little chipping like from right there. But other than that, it's practically great. And also for the shoulder pad, there's like a little indent that goes into the shoulder. Hang on. Like this. So that's how the shoulder pads go on, and you have to put these onto the cross arms. So here's like the hole. And this kept coming out and getting stuck in the shoulder, so I had to glue it. But other than that, you just put that on, and boom. That's how you do that. So now, moving on to his articulation. He can move his head up that high. Bring his head down this far. You can get side pivot. And it can go 360, but you have to get his head all the way up. So, there's that. Then, for the arms, they go all the way around. Go about that high. Bicep pull. Double jointed elbows. And like classic Tonson art toys, it can get a little, elbow swivel. You can get a little bit of that. And then wrist, obviously. Then for butterfly joints, you can get a little bit of one. You can basically get cross arms. And then for the back, not as good, but you know. Hang on. Then for articulation, you can get a little side pivot there. That goes down for ab crunch, goes down about that far. Back, about that far. And that does go all the way around. For the belt, you can move it however which way you want, and the actual belt piece can move. For legs, they can go up about that far normal. They can go back about this far. There is really good double jointed knees, so you can get that whole bend. And they also, if you tuck them in, they're like the full fat Frieza legs. So if you tuck them in correctly, you can get the splits. And hang on, yeah. And there is the boot swivel articulation, like on the Games Begin Goku. And then the thigh articulation, or the ankle articulation, you can get all the way down and all the way up, and there's a toe swivel. So that's really all for his articulation. So now let's move on to his accessories. So starting off with his accessories, he first comes with the actual Muay Thai accessories, which includes his heads and extra forearms. Then moving on to head sculpts, he first comes with a base form head. Then he comes with a Super Saiyan head. Then he comes with a Super Saiyan head, which has a hole for the halo. Then he comes with a windswept hair. Then, moving on to his faces, he comes with 5 base form faces. The first being a neutral face. Then he comes with a smirking face looking to the left. Then he comes with a smiling / happy face. This is after he hit Janemba with the Soul Punisher. I'll put a picture on the screen. Then he comes with a teeth gritting face. Then he comes with a screaming face. Then he comes with 5 Super Saiyan faces. First, a neutral face. Then he comes with a smirking face. Then he comes with a happy / smiling face. Then he comes with a teeth gritting face. And then he comes with a screaming face. Then, here's the Super Saiyan faces and what they look like on the Windswept tear. Then, Gogeta comes with 8 pairs of hands, the first being a pair of fists. Then, he comes with a pair of battle stance hands. Then, he comes with a pair of spear hands. Then, he comes with a pair of choking hands. Then, he comes with a pair of ki blast hands. Then, he comes with a pair of open hands. Then, he comes with another pair of open hands, but this time they have pegs for his Soul Punisher. And finally, he comes with a pair of throwing hands, like for when he threw the Soul Punisher, or it's for when he does the Millie Rock and hits Broly with a big leg kick. Then, for other accessories, he comes with the Soul Punisher, which you can obviously easily fit onto his peg hands. Then, he comes with a halo, which is used for one of his Super Saiyan heads, which you can just plug in the back. Then, he comes with a pair of crossed arms. Then he comes with 2 different types of vests, the first being a normal vest. The second vest is a windswept vest. And finally, he comes with 2 different types of butterfly joints, the first being the black ones, so you can have his vest on, and he also comes with skin tone ones, just in case you want to make like a custom body or something. For size comparisons, here we have the SH Figuarts Games Begin Goku and the SH Figuarts Full Power Super Saiyan Goku. Next, we have the SH Figuarts Legendary Super Saiyan Sun Goku and the Dragon Stars Battle Damage Goku. Then we have the Dragon Ball Evolved Goku and Vegeta. Next, we have the SH Figuarts Adult Daima Vegeta and the Tons and Art Toys Trunks version A. Then here he is next to the SH Figuarts Final Form Frieza and the SH Figuarts Full Power Frieza. Then we have the Dragon Stars Perfect Cell and the Beast Deities Broly. Then, for some other size comparisons, here we have the CT Toy Classic 185 Spider-Man and the Marvel Legends 85th Anniversary Venom. Then we have the Storm Arena Street Fighter 3 Ken and the Fury Toys Female Body. Then we have the NECA Michael Myers from Halloween 2018 and NECA Pennywise. Then we have the D113 Toys Biblical Adventure Jesus Pantochrystor and Archangel Michael. And finally, here we have the Hiei Toys King Ghidorah 1991 and the SH Monstars Godzilla 2001. So, in conclusion, the Kamione Super Saiyan Gogeta, I would say this is a phenomenal figure. Like, this is an excellent third party. This just does a great figure overall, great articulation, great everything. The only thing that makes, that I don't like is on the windswept hair sculpts, the face and the hair, the bang, are very seamless to the head, and the vest pieces are a little annoying sometimes when getting shots because they look out of place, but other than those 2 things, this is a perfect figure. Comparing it to the Trunks figure they made, I would say I still prefer Trunks because I think he just looks better, but I'm also getting the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and that will be the next review. So like and subscribe. Posing short will be out at noon. And I'll see you all next time. Peace.